So I'm over here at the Dillon getting ready to reload a whole bunch of ammo. It's raining today, or getting ready to. It's kind of too wet. There was a match today, but I opted to stay at home. I've been shooting a lot during the summertime months. Basically from about April to September, October. I shoot a lot of matches. It's what I do. It's where I all the reloading stuff came about. It's because that's I'm not just going to own firearms, and I'm not just going to reload. I'm going to enjoy those firearms, and how I enjoy that firearms is going out and the camaraderie with the other shooters. You develop some good relationships and good friendships by shooting and competition. But anyway, I'm sitting here at the old Dillon getting ready to kick out some of these rounds, and all of a sudden, the little birdie on my shoulder said, "You need to do some checking before you go churning out about 2,000 rounds, so that you're prepared for the rest of the shooting season." I thought, well, why? It worked good in my revolver. Some of the best groups ever out of the revolver. It's worked real good in my Glock. Why do I need to worry about it? I don't know. Stay tuned. Let's find out. Okay, we're over here at the cleaning side of the reloading shop. Normally the guns that I shoot competitively, I like the Glock. I shoot it in production class. It's Glock 34. Everybody's seen the revolver, which I've shot 100 times on camera. I've showed this once or twice on camera. This is the Kimber Target 2. You can use it in single stack. But the rounds that I was loading for the Glock worked perfectly, and the rounds that I was reloading for the revolver worked perfectly. So I got a wild hair, that little birdie talking to me, and it said basically, well, you need to go try those out in your single stack gun. They didn't work. And the reason why they didn't work is because the chambering is different. So make sure you test your bullets in your chambering before you go reloading a whole bunch. So, after I reload, I take my case gauge here. Let me get it out. Now this is going to be one of those videos that I'm going to say once again, do not have live rounds next to your firearms when you're taking them apart. Don't do that. Keep things separate so that way there's no accidents. But when I put the bullet into my case gauge, it fits perfectly. Now let's take another one. I got 3 or 4 different types here. I put this in, it fits perfectly. All these bullets fall in and out of this case gauge just exactly the way they're supposed to. There's no hiccups, nothing. Everything is perfect. So when I stick them inside my revolver, go right in. See? Check right out. Go in and come right out. Okay? Now that revolver's supposed to have moon clips, but you get the idea. So I wanted to shoot production class at one of my matches because I was just tired of shooting the revolver, needed a change. So I took my Glock. Well, I didn't test the rounds before I went out and shot them in the Glock. I just went out and shot the match. Here's the old bullet that I used to use. Perfect. And the new bullet that I use. It's a little bit long, but not bad. I mean, I had 0 functions, 0 issues, nothing wrong whatsoever. Shot great. Good groups, highly impressed. Well, when I was sitting at the house, I was thinking, I've got 3 major matches coming up. And I thought, well, for those major matches, my next match, I'm shooting the revolver. But the next 2 matches after that, I'm thinking, well, maybe I'm going to go back to single stack. Just shoot some single stack for a while. Just give myself a break. So, my old bullet, perfect. Hear that? I don't know if y'all can hear that on camera. Good. My new bullet, not even close. So when I went out there to shoot it, I got a very bad jam. It was, it's not that it's jamming. What's happening is it's going into the barrel, and the lead is catching into the grooves and not wanting to pull it out. But I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is not even close to being where it's supposed to be. The old bullet, perfect. The new bullet. And what was kind of odd about that is both these bullets are the exact same length. So I was like, well, how can that be? You know, why am I getting jams? So then I said, well, I couldn't leave that out. You know, what I have here is a representative of basically every major gun manufacturer. I have Glock, I have SIG, I have CZ, and I have Kimber, and I have Smith & Wesson. So I went out and took the CZ out. And one of these days I'm gonna get a video on the CZ. The old bullet, and the new one. It's just a smidge high on the CZ as well. Not as bad as it is on the 1911, but it is just a smidge high on the CZ. So then I had to try it out in the SIG. Perfect. Perfect. See, there's the new, there's the old. Perfect. So to say, you know, before you go just kicking out bunches and bunches of rounds, even if it'll fit in your case gauge, even if it works in one gun, if it works in another gun, and even a third, you better chamber test it, because it does not work at all in this Kimber. And it functions in the CZ, but every now and then you get a hang up, but it doesn't work at all in the Kimber. So make sure when you're reloading, even if everything says it's exactly the way it's supposed to be, make sure you chamber check your rounds, because you know, I would have never thought that it wouldn't have worked in those other guns based on how it worked in the first three. The problem is, because I have to figure out why it's a problem. You know, the overall length's the same, so that's not an issue. You know, close enough. The bullet diameter is not the issue. It's close enough. So why is it, and it's basically a case head difference, which is about, you know, 44 thousandths off. Yeah, 39 thousandths off, give or take. Why is that an issue? And the reason is because the ogive is thicker. On this bullet, the ogive is not as thick as it is on the new bullet. So what's happened is when it's going into the barrel, it's catching on the ogive there and not allowing it to chamber. Well, so there's just something else to watch for. That's another reloading dude tip. Just watch out for that. You know, don't just assume because it fits in your case gauge and it fits, that's going to fire in every one of your revolvers or your pistols. You know, make sure that you test it to the actual diameter of your barrel. All right, guys, appreciate y'all watching. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And if this video is helpful at all, please give it a thumbs up. Like I said, I only have a few more months of competition, so we're going to kind of be slacking down on those shooting videos a little bit, except for the ones here at the home range. But, you know, that's what I do. You know, I reload to shoot and have fun, and I don't think there's more fun than you can have than going out to a local competition, meeting a lot of new friends, develop some personal relationships, and shooting up the ammo that you made. All right, but like I said, watch out for that. It'll bite you. Thanks, guys.